I never got any gold or platinum discs for anything that I did for Ozzy. I've never seen anything. I've been into journalists' homes, and they've got gold discs from Diver Madman hanging on the fucking wall, just for writing a review about it. I've designed the cover, and I've never, ever had a gold disc.
Designing that cover with Diary of a Madman, you're actually doing that set?
Now, I came up with the idea, right? And then someone builds it. You know, I don't build the set. Yeah, Finn, the photographer, gets someone to build the set for him. But I came up with, right, this is what it's going to look like, right? And then they build the set. I did the poster on the wall. I designed the poster. And the skull in the picture, that's my skull. And yeah.
And isn't there an upside-down cross?
Yes, there's an upside-down cross somewhere on there. Yeah, I think that's on the poster on the wall.
And that was your design too?
Yeah, it was mine. I should have fucking asked for that back afterwards. That fucking be worth a bother too. Yeah.
Which I'm surprised at that time that they were even able to release something like that on the cover.
Well, it did get censored in other parts of the world, that's for sure. I've got the album behind me. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, you're right. There's an upside-down cross on the wall. The poster on the wall said, it says Ozzy Osbourne in that magic handwriting. I can't remember what it says at the bottom. Ozzy Osbourne, and I think at the bottom it just says The Band or something like that.
And you're also coming up with that font for the Ozzy logo and everything?
Yeah, that was Ozzy's son on that cover. Not Jack, it's a son from his first wedding, a guy called Louis or Lewis. You'll see on the table there's a dead dove, which is sort of hanging over the table. That was actually a prop that Finn, the photographer, had hired. The cat and the candlesticks, I think those were things that, and possibly the chandelier, those were all hired from a place that hires that shit out. And anyway, after we finished the set, someone said to Lewis, "Oh, Lewis, what does Daddy do with doves?" And he just picks it up and bites the fucking head off, which cost 400 quid. Damages for the people that had rented it out. That was a funny time. Ozzy was so drunk. Finn, the photographer, had a studio, which was in the cellar of his house, where the set was built. Obviously, Ozzy was coming over to do it, but we were waiting for him in the pub, which was opposite Finn's. And suddenly someone says, "Oh, Ozzy's here." And we look out the door, and he's coming down the road, and he's got his wife, Thelma, his original wife, with him, Louis, the son, and Sharon, who was supposed to be his personal assistant. But he is actually shagging Sharon at this point, but no one was supposed to know it. Anyway, we go into the pub to have, he says, "Oh, can we have a quick drink before we do this?" "Yeah, no problem." We said, what are you drinking? And he goes, "I'll have 3 pints. I can't remember what it was. It was either cider or lager or beer. I can't remember, but it was 3 pints, right? "I want 3 pints and a triple brandy." And it was like, okay, fair enough. For every pint of beer that me and Finn were drinking, and we had 3 pints each, he was drinking 3 pints of whatever he was drinking and a triple brandy. So by the time we get over to the studio, he's had 9 pints and the best part of over a quarter bottle of brandy, and then that's before we've even done anything. We did the whole cover and some other pictures that were used.
You're saying that he was that wasted when he did the cover?
Yeah, he's off his, and I'll tell you this, the back cover was shot first, right? Because there's no makeup. It's got no makeup on the back cover. And the one that you see who's slumped over the table, that's someone dressed up as Ozzy. But yeah, so we shot the back cover, and then we go, "Right, Ozzy, we're going to, next we're going to put your makeup on and get you dressed up for the front cover." And he goes, "All right, I've just got to go to the toilet," right? So off he goes. And about 15 minutes later, it's like, where the fuck is he? And he hadn't gone to the toilet. He'd gone back to the pub. And he comes back, they get the makeup on, the costume on, they do some pictures which, before we actually did finish, the last thing we were going to shoot was the actual him with it, the front cover. But there were some other pictures. I think there's one where I think he's actually strangling Sharon. She's lying down and he's strangling her. I mean, I could be wrong, but there were lots of different types of, pictures taken for use for I don't know, promo or whatever. And they would go, right, Ozzy, okay, we're going to do the front cover shot. All right, great. What we want you to do is put your arms out, pull your fucking Ozzy face and snarl at the camera. And it's like, great. And he does it. And Finn, I can hear it now. It's like he takes 1 picture, 2 picture, 3 picture, 4 picture, 5 picture, 6 picture, and Ozzy just falls flat on his fucking face, drunk.
Right after the last picture.
We got this 6 pictures that we could choose.
That was the end of the picture session?
Yeah, that's the end of the shoot, yeah. But we got it. That's the thing, we got it.
David is initially Ozzy's manager, but then something up with his kid.
Sharon was just his personal assistant. And
then she ends up getting
him.
Yeah. And then
his manager.
And then gets the gig, yeah. But it's also because David decides to give Ozzy to her. Is that what your understanding of it?
I'm not sure. I honestly can't remember.
Are you also meeting the band at all? Did you ever get to meet Randy Rhoads?
Yes, I did. I got to meet them and see them play. Saw them play at Heavy Metal Holocaust, where Motorhead were headlining a football stadium over here, and Black Sabbath was supposed to play, but they pulled out, so they got Ozzy in with Randy. And I remember when we had the album launch, they had not a big party. It was like for everyone who was involved, and obviously because I'd done the cover and Finn had done the photography, we were all invited. It was a lovely, I can't remember where it was. It was a big table. We're all sat around the table. This big old fat stripper comes and puts her tits on either side of Ozzy's head, and there's a lot of drink. And Randy was there smoking constantly, and he was very small, but lovely guy, and Lee, and met them all, and Bob Daisley. I mean, there's another guy. I talk about being shafted. He's someone you should try and talk to. And he's very, I know he's a great interviewer. He really is. He'll tell you the stories. I mean, when you get shafted to the point where they're taking your writing credits away and re-recording the album so that they don't have to give you royalties, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
The album that they re-recorded. He didn't have a clue what was going on half the time. I don't think he still does, to be quite honest.
What was it like working with Sharon back then for you?
Well, it was only on Bark at the Moon that I was working with Sharon, because Don was managing him on Driver Madman and Speak of the Devil. That was, he was Don's baby then. But Sharon was, as I say, she had a clause in him. But I mean, Sharon's, you'll talk to Sharon to her face. She'll be sweet as pie. Oh, darling, yeah, isn't that fantastic, fabulous, wonderful, wonderful. As soon as you've walked out the room, she'll go, what a fucking wanker. That's Sharon.